Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of the Dad Life. It's been a few months since we've said anything to you folks, and we're grateful for you sticking around. It's end of December 2021, and we're taking the old T-Bird out for a drive. Got the whole fam and crew here, and we are just kind of cruising around the neighborhood right now, warming up the car. She hasn't been out since day after Thanksgiving. And we wanted to take her out, warm her up, and just kind of see how she's doing. And we're running across a few things. First and foremost is some of the gauges aren't working right. So we're going to kick over to the other view so you can see that. Here we are driving, and you can see some of the gauges aren't functioning properly. Oil gauge is showing low. Fuel gauge seems to be working fine. The thermostat gauge seems to be working fine. It doesn't quite go up to middle ground. Not sure about that, but the engine is all warm. And then you can just see the amperage. Look at that thing. So it's going up. Now that we've got our foot on the gas. But when we take our foot off the gas, she starts to go way down. Let's see, is she gonna do it for me? Yep, there she is, going down. So we're going to take a look at it. When we opened up the hood today, the battery was low as well. So we trying to navigate past this moron that left his door open in the middle of the street. All right. Anyways, we're going to take a look at some of this stuff and see what we can do. And hope you come along for the journey. We're gonna play around with this a little bit, see if we can't figure out why that battery was drained. What was interesting is it was specifically down from 12.5 volts to 10.5 volts. So we're gonna investigate that and see if maybe we have a bad battery, or maybe we have a bad alternator, and we'll take you along for the journey as we try to figure out what's going on. All right, everybody, we're back here with the car. We got it back in the driveway. She's running fine. She's idling smooth and great. If you can hear her, she sounds awesome. Now, if you remember, we were looking at the amperage gauge, and it was having some power problems. And so what I'm noticing is she seems to be running smooth right now, so we're going to check real quick to see if we have a bad alternator. So the way you check to see if your alternator is bad is you disconnect the terminal on the battery. If the car keeps running, your alternator is fine, because your alternator is what's powering the car. So I'm going to go ahead and take a 1/2 inch. I'm going to loosen up the negative terminal. And we're going to disconnect it from the battery. If it's a bad alternator, it'll turn off. Engine's still running. That means what we're having is we're having a bad battery. This is what's giving us our electrical problems. So we'll go ahead and put that back on. We'll tighten it up. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a video, and we're going to change the battery out. And I'll show you how to choose batteries for your classic cars. And I'm also going to put in a new voltage regulator, just in case the one that's in there has been fried. All right, so again, this should solve the electrical disparities we're having in the car, because this battery has issues, and the alternator is trying to compensate by overriding the battery, especially when it's driving. So we're gonna put a new battery in it. We're gonna put a new voltage regulator. We're gonna change out some of the pipes too, like this pipe. The coolant pipe looks a little rough. We're gonna go ahead and change that out, and a couple other things. So stick around as we continue our journey with the 66 T-Bird. We'll see you all next time. Hey everybody, we're back with the 66 Thunderbird, and we're going to go ahead and do another test before we replace that battery. So we've just had it running for a good half an hour or so, and while it was running, it was at 14.10 volts. So the alternator was running smoothly. Now we're going to check the voltage on the battery itself, and it's showing 12.25 volts. Now again, we think and are pretty sure that there is a voltage problem with the battery. The battery has a dying cell. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect the battery from the whole system and set it overnight. We're just going to kind of set that there. Disconnect the positive. It's a little tight. There we go. And then what we're going to do is we're going to set this overnight, and we're going to watch and see what it does. So now the car is completely disconnected from the battery. Again, right now it is showing that this battery has 12.22 volts. We're going to check it tomorrow. I imagine it's going to be in the 10.9 to 10.6 range, meaning that one of the cells is going bad. So again, if that's the case, we'll take this battery and we'll go change it out. And if you look at it over here, you can see, come around to the other side. This is a 24F AGM battery. These are the newer type of batteries. It's got 710 cold cranking amps, that's at 0 degrees, 855 at 32 degrees, and reserve capacity is 120 with 70 amp hours. So we're going to get a battery that is just like it. Probably going to get it from Costco, to be honest with you. They have the AGM batteries right now for this vehicle for $159 with the Costco warranty on them. So probably that's what we're going to do. But we're going to let this sit overnight. We'll come back and check it. And if that's the case, then we've got a bad battery. If the amperage has gone down, or the voltage has gone down, then we've got a bad battery. And we will go ahead and get a new one and put it in, and we should get this thing up and running. If you want to come over here real quick and come around the other side of the car, this is where the voltage regulator is, right here. On these cars, they have an external voltage regulator. On modern cars, your voltage regulator is actually built into your alternator. These older cars have an external one, so we have a replacement part for that. We're just going to replace this just to be safe, kind of clean up the connections too. See how kind of little dusty and dirty and stuff in there it is. So we'll take this off. It's real easy. It's just a couple of screws, and this connector right here just plugs in, and we'll go ahead and clean that up and put in a new voltage regulator, and then we'll see if our meters start to work good again, our instrument cluster inside the car. If not, we may have to get behind the dash and deal with some of the regulators back there. Hopefully not. That would be more project than I want to do in the wintertime. But anyways, hope this video will be of some use to you folks as we continue to work on the 66 Thunderbird. We'll see y'all next time.